Yeah, Rap Radar Podcast, Elliot Wilson.
This is B-Dot.
B-Dot, what's up, baby?
Good. Summer in Miami.
Summer in Miami, man. Who we got in the program today?
We got the summer man, Jim Jones, Capo status.
El Capo out there. The album's hot, man.
It's fire.
It's fire, man. You know Jim's always cooking up. He got a lot of hustles, too, man.
He's got a lot of jobs.
A lot of jobs. We'll talk about them all, man. We excited to have the program. Home team, man. Capo.
Let's do it.
Jim Jones, Rap Radar Podcast.
Cash stuff, comma after comma, them commas my favorite. Come to money, know my body. Just tell me.
Yeah, Rap Radar Podcast, Elliot Wilson.
This is B-Dot.
B-Dot, what's up, baby?
What's going on, man?
Summer in Miami? We're in Miami?
Yeah, I was saying. It's a classic.
Sir. It's a classic.
Well,
it's
a
a
good
classic,
friend,
bastard.
man. The Capo's here, man. Jim Jones.
Jones,
how are you, sir?
I'm pretty good. I can't complain. Life has been doing good.
You look up, man. This guy got it. You know, we heard the album. The album's amazing, and like the whole thing. Like it just seemed like this whole year. I don't know how much you planned it, but just like because nowadays the audience evaluates the rollout and everything and the marketing and all. It just seems like with this project, from the top of the year till now, leading up to the release, everything just seems to be set up the right way. Do you agree?
Yeah, by God's grace, nothing was premeditated. Just was all organic. The only thing that I knew in my mind that I had to do was put out a lot of content because of how things are moving in today's industry. Like content is king right now. Yeah. So I want to make sure that I gave enough content that'll lead up to the album to make people interested and compelled to want to see what's going on, and it feels like I'm doing pretty good at it.
Yeah. You've been promoting El Capo for a long time. It seems like you've been working on it for a while, right?
Yeah, I've been working on it for like the past 2 years, but not working on it. El Capo was a project that I did in the Hitmakers studio, but not like something that we deliberately did. This was while I was making Wasted Talent, and then if anybody know about my recording, I usually record late at night, probably go home 5, 6 in the morning, but it's like half an hour before we always left, it was like, yo, pull up another beat, let me see, and I would just record one verse to a bunch of records every night, and then Arsonist was like one day, like, yo, bro, we got like 40 songs in there with one verses, you should just start
It's all hard.
finishing them up, do some hooks, put some second verses, let's put a project out. I'm like, cool, let's do it, and it made sense and shit like that as far as Hitmakers being the one who coined the Diplomat sound, and you know, for producers and the DJs, a lot of times they don't really get a chance to get the kudos that they deserve and show their artistry, where it's directly the shine is on them. So I'm more happy for Hitmaker on this one than I think for myself, because he really put a lot of hard work into it. I know that people are looking to hear the usual Dipset coin sound, but he actually gave us so many directions on this one that people are gonna really like this. I'm hyped.
I like how you set the tone on the project with Crystal Occasion.
Yes.
Who's shooting videos at the Rock Nation brunch?
This guy.
Whoever never seen a power move like that, man. Me and B-Dot couldn't even get in. You know what I'm saying? Want to keep it 100.
He's doing videos.
Oh man. I don't know, man. I just, I'm always on to the next thing. So I was just make sure I held one of the tickets for my cameraman, and he walked in, and I was that. I told him that's press. He got a press pass. But it wasn't like I shot a video there. It was like anything that Rock Nation was already doing. They had a bunch of cameramen there getting the same B-roll footage. It was all B-roll. I took one performance take or two performance take when it was over at the back of one of the lawns. And then I mixed all the B-roll footage with it, and it looked good. And I got a hell of a video, you know what I mean? I got in trouble for it, but, you know.
Don't tell nobody. When is a Crystal Occasion? When is that appropriate?
A Crystal Occasion is a celebration. I say a Crystal Occasion because in my time, Crystal was the leading champagne that you could buy. It was the most expensive that we know about. All the hustlers that was popping it. Jay-Z made a big thing about you got to have Crystal. You at the top of your game. And it's just a celebration of life. And where I'm from, every day you wake up is a Crystal Occasion because tomorrow ain't promised, especially in them projects. So, you know, that was a dedication to life. For me still being here 20-some odd years later in this industry that's cold, that they told you was a high school job, and shit, I'd have been through college, got my doctorates, everything. So, you know, I passed the bar exam too.
What still drives you with that? Because I saw something earlier, you said like even playing the records for like Puffy, he said, you know, you had elevated as an MC. Like in a lot of ways, you know, people can say Jim's getting better as an artist. Like, why is that so important? Like, why are you so driven still with that to make music on your own?
I got a point to prove to myself, not to anybody else. So when I play my music with people that's as powerful as Puff or Fat Joe or the Meeks or any of them type of people, when they and they recognize the skill set that I'm bringing forth, is me collecting the points I need to prove my point to myself. You know what I mean? I mean, throughout the years, I've done so many things in this industry, but I haven't concentrated on my passion for the music because I always use it as a hustle. I've been hustling so much that I got good at it. You know what I mean? So now it's like I got a passion to show people that I'm really nice.
Right. For
real, for real. Yeah. You know what I mean? You could put me in the booth or the ring with anybody and they're going to have a real problem.
Has that changed? Because we're in Miami right now. You know, obviously you're from Harlem, but like you relocated out here. Has that affected your recording process of how you make music?
Miami is a reflection of Harlem. They going through the same things down here. I've been down here so long and I've been in it so much down here, this feels like I'm home. And, you know, it's dual citizenship. You know what I mean? They both reflect each other. When New York becomes overbearing and too much for me, I can't wait to get out of this, catch a flight down here, come chill out by the pool, get my thoughts together, regroup, and then go back to New York and go hard.
But it's fair to say that El Capo captures a certain essence of Harlem, right? And
El Capo is the essence of Harlem. Harlem is the natural museum of fly shit. You heard? It's the natural museum of fly shit, for real. I mean, you know, throughout the years, we've done so many things. We've set so many trends. We coined so many phrases, the lingo, the stories about the hustlers, the betrayal, the everything that goes on with coming up in the hood. But Harlem is just a different place. There's no landscape like Harlem nowhere else in the world. Like, you know what I mean? You can go to anybody else's city, but it's not like Harlem. It's just the feeling, the history, just coming up on the streets, the summertime, walking from block to block. You can't miss it. You don't need a car really in Harlem. You could navigate the streets on your feet and have a hell of a time. There's just so much to talk about.
Gentrification,
which is
you
way
hit that
different
to me with this album a lot.
Way different from when we came up. You know what I mean? They got New Harlem and they got Old Harlem right now. But I'm not mad at the gentrification. The only thing that I do tends to bother me is the fact that they're not offering or giving my people the jobs that they should have within the gentrification in our own town that we made so famous from all the hard work and blood, sweat, and tears and the history. Yeah, so, you know, those are one of the things that bother me with gentrification. But nobody wants to be in a dirty place that looks decrepit and all broken down. So getting a facelift is always a good thing. You know what I mean?
So how does the album capture that essence, though, of Harlem in your mind? And makes it distinctive from other Jim Jones projects?
Every record on this album has a bit of Harlem on it, along with other messages to the youth, to the people that's in the street, because this is my stories from things that I've used to do, not things that I'm directly in. Of course, people know I'm a very aggressive person and I'm always on defense, but at this point in my life, I've been past all that. All the things that the youngsters are going through, I kind of did that probably twice and 3 times and things like that. So I'm able to tell a story and hopefully they can learn from my story or they could just take heed, you know what I mean, even if they still going through it. There's a lot of music going on out there that don't reflect the hustle and the struggle and the pain. And I'm not mad at that because I like to go in the club and get lit as everybody else. But I feel like there was a lane that was missing for people that like to make money, people that need to think about something. You know what I mean? Music was about fucking with the brain, make you want to sit down and think, and that's what we've been missing. Like, you know what I mean? So when I do hear Meek's album, when I do hear the Drake's album, the few artists that do bring that to you is refreshing because we don't have a lot of that. And I'm not mad at that because music evolves and revolves every second. You got to keep up with the times. Like, it doesn't stay the same. You know what I mean? Like, and when we were younger, people were looking at us like, man, y'all is on some rah-rah. That's not me. Y'all just wild and y'all gang-banging and all that. You know what I mean?
But gang-banging to this music.
But it was the sign of time. So I know what the youngsters, how they feel about us, or about the majority of older artists coming down on them for the mumble rap and all that. Like, at the end of the day, it was about the business. You dig? None of us had our fists in the air on some black power shit. We always wanted the money. Whatever made the money. You know what I mean? So it don't matter what form of music it is if it's hitting. I'm just trying to keep the lane that I got open so that people can always have that to go back to.
It also seems like you're following a thematic concept. Like, I think about the Wasted Talent project. It feels like you touched on Bronx Tale, but this time you got like Paid in Full, a little bit of New Jack City. Was that like the mindset going into it?
Yeah, I mean, just the whole Harlem feel of it. Like, you know, New Jack City, Harlem movie, Paid in Full, Harlem movie. Things they were talking about directly affected Harlem, and we were aware of the history of what was being said in Paid in Full, and that kind of is like what reflects in my music. I mean, Paid in Full was an era right before me, but the next era was the era I was involved in. So our life story is our own Paid in Full when it comes to the Diplomats and me and Cam and Joel's, like we've been running and gunning for a long time, and me and Cam been in these streets since we've been 14 to 15 to 16, really going to clubs and living like we were grown men as teenagers, and that's one of the other things in Harlem. It kind of grows you up way faster than a lot of other places.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You kind of start to hit the streets at 12 and 13 in Harlem and become your own man or your own lady or your own woman. Like you start to learn about life from hitting those streets. Nobody wanted to stay inside. We always wanted to be outside. The streets were more of our home than our home was.
The streets keep calling you. On the project, you mentioned something about getting in trouble still, Jomo. What's going on, Capo?
No, I did. I got in trouble in Atlanta, but, you know, it was by default, by chasing the dollar in this game. And in this game, you got to protect yourself in various ways. And I got caught up in some shit that I maybe could have avoided by doing things a little bit better than how I was moving and shit like that. But that was a little bit of Jomo in me, so, you know. But, you know, it's an expensive inconvenience. But I got over it. Got a great lawyer in Atlanta by Mr. Drew.
I seen him, the $1 billion lawyer.
Kalina passed away.
I didn't even know that until I heard the right. I was like, Kalina passed away? That was the first time I heard.
Waking up screaming, now my dead lawyer, Kalina.
Kalini. You was like the first time I ever heard a rapper mention the lawyer in the lyrics.
Shit, they better mention their lawyers.
But this new lawyer, though, he's like the hip-hop lawyer. He's like, they call him the billionaire lawyer.
Lawyer.
He's based in Atlanta, so, you know, I didn't have the proper representation when I got caught in Georgia and
QC. Okay, there we go.
P
from QC.
Chubby baby, put me on 3 P.
Ohio.
So P, I got myself in a little bit of trouble. I need a counselor. I need counsel ASAP. He was like, man, Finland is that man. Ain't nothing to be said, man. I'm just telling you, ain't nothing to be said. And just tell him I sent you.
And you said no F's in the report card. What's that mean?
No felonies.
I
pride myself on that. I've been through so much in this streets and in this industry, and I was like, boy, I'm 42 years of age. I can't get an F on my report card now. So,
But you mentioned that friend of yours. You say got caught up in Maine doing some illegal activity. How does that affect you?
I mean, it's not me. I'm just talking about people that I still know, and you know what I mean, that I hold dear to my heart and shit like that, and they get caught up. I don't do nothing illegal. For years and years and years, God bless, I was able to get out of that. But a lot of my friends are still stuck in that world, and sometimes it hurts to have to blur out certain things that go on, and I try to keep a censor on it because I never want to put nobody out there.
But I think it's funny, like, even a record like Pity in the Summer, which I like a lot, it's always the undertone of, like, you know, as real as you thought it was for Dipset, it was even realer. You know what I mean? It seems like you guys never run out of stories of, like, almost like the other path, like how would it have went if this music thing didn't pop off?
Man, Cam said it right. Me and Jim would have been knocking koofies off, man.
Still, V-Dot's favorite. Koofies, straight up,
He fucked me up when he bring that shit up. That's my favorite record right now.
It's your favorite one?
It's my leading record right now on
mine
the
too,
album.
Jim.
That's not mine right now.
Wait, let's talk about don't jump the gun, V-Dot. Let me get my more Pity in the Summer.
Yeah, I think because the way it was done. Actually, I came to the. I hit all like I'm about to come to the studio. He like, all right. I get to the studio. He like, yo, Fred said I need to play you this record because you probably forget. He said he know you forgot that you've done this record because you would have put it on the album.
I'm Fred the Godson. Okay, we got credit, Fred.
I'm like, all right, play it. When he played it, I'm like, oh my God. Like, this is the shit I've been looking for. Like, I damn near was praying to God because I felt like I didn't fill up all the lanes I needed for my album to feel comfortable with actually having a complete project. And that was like a few days ago. Then I played the record. I'm playing the record. I played it like 10 times. I'm like, oh my God. And then Cam called my phone. I'm like, you? He like, yo, what's up? What you doing? I'm like, I'm in the studio. He like, shit, I'm about to come over there. Be there in 20 minutes. And if anybody know Cam will tell you 20 minutes for 20 days straight. You heard? Like, yo, for 20 days straight, he'll tell you 20 minutes. I'm like, all right, Flea, we here. He's like, all right, 20 minutes, he pull up. I said, the fuck?
Is that what you said he came in at the 25th hour? Was that
25th hour? I played him the record. He like, load that up. I'm going in the booth. I went to play it again. He said, nah, just load it up. I got it. I'm going in the booth. I said, oh my God, here we go. He went in the booth and nailed it. And I'm like, yeah.
So that last verse was the last verse of the album?
The last verse of the album.
Wow.
Yeah, he's talking about Bottle Wars with Big Meech on that too.
That's a true story. Cam was a heavy heavy bottle buyer, Cristal occasion. He used to buy them Cristal bottles like they was nothing, man.
Wow.
Like we've really I've think back to the times that we've had, and we've done so much, so many outrageous things. We celebrated so much. It's been a hell of a ride. I cannot lie.
But it's amazing that like we've also gone through your ups and downs, and it's amazing to see you guys in such a great place now.
Yeah, we definitely in a great place. I think as you get older, you realize what's more important to you, and the things that were important to you when you're younger, not the things that really count. And you know, me and Cam have a strong brotherhood for so many years, from teenagers to now. And if you have a brother or any best friends, if y'all don't go through anything, then you're not really brothers or best friends and things like that. And this is what makes relationships stronger. You know what I mean?
But it seems like no turning back. Like you guys are locked in again.
Yeah,
to me, like you know what I mean. I don't see this. I don't see no more setbacks. I see you guys.
We did. I think the level of understanding that we have is clear.
Was it seamless when you guys reconnected?
Yeah, it wasn't nothing to it. Okay. It wasn't like, you did this,
nothing
I did
awkward.
this. It was just like, nigga, what's up?
But did you share? Did you sharing a lot of it when it was in the down period? Did that affect it either way? Of you being so public about it?
I think, of course, it affected it because it gave everybody opinion on who was a piece of shit more. You know what I mean? Yeah. It wasn't like we were both, any of us were angels. We were both was a piece of shit to each other.
Who's your favorite piece of shit?
Yeah, who's your favorite piece of shit? You know what I mean? And, you know, of course, you want to make a statement to say, no, I'm the favorite piece of shit, and it's just, you know. But it was needed. I guess it all bring it back to full circle.
But Jim, I'm dying to know. And people told me it was gonna happen. Whispering in my ear, it's gonna happen. I'm like, okay, I heard it's gonna happen, but I gotta see it. It ain't real till it happens. How do we get Cameron and Jay-Z on the same stage?
Man, I was a 16-year-old girl at that concert.
How, Jim? We understand.
I ain't got no tea.
Walk us through it, Jim. How does it happen?
Why you asking me how?
Because you were there. You performed. I really mean it.
This is crazy.
Why you had a bottle in your hand.
Well, how do you feel about it? You said it's a proud moment for you as a man and as a fan to see that.
Oh yeah, it was definitely a moment. I got a call saying that Jay about to do the special B-side concert. I'm like, cool. I get some tickets. What's up? So, you know what I mean? Like, I thought that was the call. Like, you pull it up and like, yo, he wanna perform. Welcome to New York City.
Which is one of your favorite records and sessions, right? You always said that too,
it's
right?
A historic hip hop session. So they asked me that. Now I'm like, all right, let me just, you know, in my mind, I'm like, come on, don't do this to me. Like, why y'all putting me under this one? Like, and I'm like, I'm just listening. And in my mind's like, fuck it, man. Just ask him the question. Is either he gonna say yeah, he gonna say no. But in my mind, I'm like, if you know Cam, this could cause some shit, or might not even sweat it. Might just say some slick shit and just leave it alone and all that shit. So I'm like, yo, Flea, he like, yo. I said,
same day, right?
Right after I got the call, I called him. I said, yo, Jay is doing like this B-side concert, right? He like, yeah. I'm like, he trying to perform Welcome to New York City, and they wanted to know if maybe you might just want to perform something. Like, I'm just, trying to do what I do. He like, yeah, run it. Let's do it. I'm like, huh? He like, yeah. I said, you straight? You sure? He like, yeah. It's all good, whatever. I said, I'm going to give these people your number because I really don't want to have no more to do with it after this. Like, I did my job. I don't want to do what you did. And then I gave him his number. Him and Hove spoke. Okay, this shit is really going on.
Oh, so they had conversations to help before the moment.
Yeah, this was about a week before, 2 weeks before it all happened. Yeah. So it was definitely was a conversation. That's not like a They had to have some type of conversation. Like that's not like it's a surprise, but we gotta say 2 words to each other to make sure like this is really, you know what I mean? Like it was one of the most awkward situations that I've probably ever been with in my life. Like just from and the way how easy it was for it to happen was even more awkward. I'm like, this shit, life is crazy sometimes. You just never know, man. That's why they say, man, you can't, if you don't shoot the shot, what you playing for?
So once he had those convos, you felt good that okay, it is gonna happen.
Once Cam said, yeah, I knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
But at that point, I was like, all right, I'm out of this process. I'm gonna give. You dig?
Do you feel like this could have happened years ago though?
Timing is everything. You know what I mean? Like a lot that went on. I ended up being over there. That breaks a little bit of the monotony up. You know what I mean? You dig? And Cam is a very smart person and shit like that, and the respect we have for each other and our business, and each other's businesses. You know what I mean? So it's and time, man. You know what I mean? Cam is a grown man. He's a smart businessman. He's keen. He's always been smart. I mean, so.
What was that night like? The night like for you? Because you ended up being part of the moment. Obviously, they got to bring Jim out.
Yeah, Cam told him like, I'm not coming if Jim not coming out. I don't know what's going on, but Jim got to come out. It was like, yeah, we're going to bring Jim out doing I really mean it. I'm like, Cam, you ain't even have to do that. He like, nah, bro. I'm not going on stage without you. You know how this go. I'm like, cool.
Was there another song you rather had performed or maybe wanted to perform as well besides I Really Mean It?
No, it was Cam Moment.
Okay.
I wasn't worried about Jim at that point. Cam Moment is a Jim moment. Don't nothing change. When we together, everybody go back to their proper positions.
Right.
You heard?
So did it go? Last question. You thought it went as great as it could?
Beautiful, way more better than like it was. It was a beautiful night. It was the night before my lady's birthday.
Oh wow,
ooh, yeah.
Everybody was already in party mode. Everybody
you had the
was
capo in the tux. You had the capo emblem.
Tux. It was one of them nights you couldn't ask for it. You know what I mean? Like nobody could have did anything more perfect than the way it went down. Nas was backstage. I didn't get to actually say what's up to Nas, but it was cool. We was all in the same room. You know what I mean? It was like, you dig? I was like, all right, this is a very fly moment. Like if you know me, besides everything that went on with the whole Nas shit, you know, Nas has always been one of my favorite rappers and my favorite fashion icons when I was coming up and shit like that. He was a very fly nigga when he was making music when we was getting busy to him and shit like that. You know what I mean? But so to see him back there and see all his people's back there and shit like, you know what I mean? Like it's funny because you know, I'm from an era where you know everybody about it. You know everything about a person. You know who his goons is. So then you see Jungle and all that shit. I started going back like I'm 17, 18. Like, oh shit, there goes Jungle. Yeah, like, but you know I got to keep my screw face on and shit like that. So you know it was all good though. Yeah. I had a nice night. It was definitely a nice night.
I didn't see Zeke there.
Zeke didn't make it up. You know, Zeke is in North Carolina. He got a few stores, and it was kind of so last minute. Zeke just had a brand new baby, so
But you make sure we don't forget Jules either. I see a lot of times in your IG, like you make it clear that he's not here right now, but we still feel, brother.
Yeah, of course, man. That's the baby bro. You know what I mean? I gotta always represent for him. I can't wait for him to get back, man. He had a lot of incredible music too before he went in. So hopefully they start putting that music out strategically before he come back out and he could get back in the loop of things. But he got records with everybody every person that's popping right now you could think of, he got a record with. The Migos to the Tory Lanez to the Meeks to anybody you could think of.
Yeah.
He got some fucking fire. That's my boy right there. You know what I mean? Like, him and Cam and Zeke really got a brotherhood like no other.
Right.
We've been through the most. I was telling somebody the other day that to be a rap artist is the most dangerous job in the world.
Why you say that?
Wow, okay.
Why I say that?
Yeah.
It's more dangerous than going to war in Iraq. Because you're always on defense. You don't know who's who. People can get right up on you and try to do something to you. You're always getting into beef. How many times we heard rappers, tour buses get shot up this week?
You have a record speaking on that with Capo, talking about the good die young.
Yes. I mean, it's just the whole persona of being a rapper and shit is fucked. You know what I mean? You 9 times out of 10, these kids that are rappers, I wouldn't say they were good kids and angels, but they did half the shit they rapped about when they got a rap deal. They wait till they get a rap deal to get their first record. And I'm talking about record on the radio. I'm talking about record with the law. You know what I mean? They wait till they get a rap deal to start packing all these guns and carrying all these guns. They wait till they get a rap deal to start using these excessive drugs. And these kids are what, 18, 19, 20? So you're not going to sit here and tell me, oh, you've been doing this. When? When you been doing this? You just was in high school. You dig? So don't hit me with the Pablo stories. I don't want to hear none of that. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. But I'm just saying, this is just how fucked up rap is.
Because you still got to deal with that energy.
Sooner or later, a lot of these rappers are going to go broke, and I'm telling you because I've been there.
Yeah.
You dig that? Balling habit is a fucked up habit. It's worse than doing crack cocaine, spending money.
Yeah, people forget Will Smith blew his first million. He said he got the.
I think he blew more than his first million. That nigga said he was renting out the whole Gucci store, closing the Gucci store doors. You heard? But I know how it is because I've done the same thing. Like I was going wild, like wow.
Do you feel responsible for a little bit of that?
Of what? What these kids
of
is doing?
That culture? Because you created balling, you know.
I didn't create.
Well,
that.
you didn't create it, but you know, you
spearheaded.
I
stole that ad-lib from Tupac.
True.
Let's talk about it. If the people really know hip hop and hip hop history, they would know the balling ad-lib is a Tupac ad-lib.
Right.
He's been saying balling on numerous records. Yeah, and I'm an avid Tupac fan.
But you popularized it in the modern era.
Shit, Tupac popularized it when he was popping. He was going 4 times platinum. I've never sold 4 times platinum records. I wanted everything Tupac had. But I guess that's the way the ball bounces. In turn, the kids that I did,
so you were conscious of that, like that was just as a fan something you picked up on. Like we always give you credit for all these ad-libs, but studying the game so much, you grab on to stuff like that.
You take bits and pieces and shit like that from everybody, everything you hear and shit like that. Like I Slick Rick was the person that remember saying even before I started doing music that ad-libbing is one of the most important parts of doing a record.
Yeah.
He said that on an interview one day, like on MTV Raps or something, on Yo MTV or something like that.
Because he would double his vocals to do things nobody was doing back then.
You dig? And Tupac also.
When did you realize that was going to be your strength? Because like people may say you may not be the most like the illest lyricist bar for bar, but it's like what made you unique was how you use.
Let's talk about it now.
No, the bars is
what they say. Hello, what they saying now? Talk to me. I can't hear.
But we still get the ad-libs though.
I love the ad-libs.
You gotta get the ad-libs. The ad-libs
spooky.
It's still spooky out here, Jim.
Ad-libs is a money maker. Like I turned that into art where I'm actually like doing 2 verses at one time because that ad-lib is part of the record.
Yeah.
It explains a lot of the bars.
Yeah, and that's kind of what Slick Rick did. To my point, I'm trying to say like he felt like he had to layer a verse a certain way. So he gets all his credit. He's one of the greatest storytellers, but part of why his storytelling was so great is that he layered his songs with that backing effect to it.
100%. I stole all that from Slick Rick.
Yeah. But speaking of that, you starting your own consulting agency.
Yes.
This is how serious you take it. You're not just scolding everybody out here. You trying to like lead and make change. And like exactly how serious are you about this consulting agency and how does it work?
Consulting. Remember, Def Jam paid me $10,000 a month in 2001. When we signed? 2001? To Rockefeller?
Because when Cam...
2001?
2001, 2002.
Yeah.
Right.
Come Home was
2002.
Yeah, so it was 2001 we got signed because I did the marketing for us before the album came out. I went to, do you know they got the Tuesday...
play the music.
Record label meetings and all that shit.
All day meetings.
So I told Cam I had to somebody type some shit up, our agenda. Told Cam I'm going to this meeting. They not fucking this up. I don't care about what nobody say. They don't. They're gonna see us how we need to be seen. And I went in the meeting, and I remember standing up in the meeting like handed out everybody this. Stood up on the chair, explained to them what the Diplomats is and how we need to be seen and how we need to be heard.
This is before Come Home When We came out?
And this is this and this is that. And Kevin Liles was looking there like, huh? The meeting was over. Somebody came upstairs like, Kevin wants to speak to you. Came downstairs. He said, how much you want? I said, how much I want for one? He said, I'm gonna give you a consultant check. I need that same shit I need that. I said, shit. You paid me $10,000 a month for that.
Wow.
And then in turn after that, that's how I got the job at Warner, because Kevin Liles had now turned into the president at Warner when Leo Cohen was the chairman over there.
Did that come naturally to you?
Huh?
Did that come naturally to you, like just consulting and?
Yeah, like I've been doing that for years. Like I've just been helping people and just giving people game, but it's all been for free. You know what I mean? And I've helped your biggest stars to the littlest stars to some of your illest athletes to like I'm a natural at just common sense.
Yeah, we talked about that how some in Miami helped Trey Songz a lot. Nobody was believing in Trey Songz.
It wasn't someone with Miami. He was about to be no Trey Songz. We went to the Bahamas with Kevin Liles. And they had a big showcase about all the artists that they had at the time, and they were going to see who they're going to keep and who they're going to cut. And Trey Songz was on the chopping block, and I was like, whoa, y'all cannot chop him. That little nigga is nice. He's handsome, he got braids, and he sing.
Yeah.
They're like, all right, we ain't going to chop him. Then after that, I said, let me get that little kid for the Some old Miami joint. It was like, cool.
It's my favorite Jim Jones record right there.
One of my favorite all times too.
Also, I think about when you talk about scouting talent, Game, right? You introduced Game to the world the first time because Come Home With Me, On My Way to Church will turn 15 in August. And I believe the first time Game's major appearance was on Certified Gangsters.
Yes, it was. I got in trouble for that too.
50 didn't like that,
But
He was assigned to G-Unit.
It wasn't 50, it was Dr. Dre.
Oh, yeah, Interscope.
Yeah, well, Game, when I first heard about Game, they told me he was Eazy-E's son.
That was the rumor.
We from the East Coast.
Yeah.
There's blood on the West Coast. His name's Game. Because he had the tattoo, Eazy-E on it and all that. Like, yo, Eazy-E's Tony busting. I'm like, find him. Find him. Find the blood. He blood, find the blood.
He was blooded out at the time, Jim.
Just got on the phone, bring him to New York, take him to the studio. Jewels was there. Everybody was there. Picked him up from the airport. Him and Fort Bent. God bless. Rest in peace, Fort Bent. And we just went ham. So he had already had his deal. But they didn't know they wasn't sure what to do with him at Interscope, and that's why they signed him to G-Unit to give him some validation and some, you know what I mean? I remember that whole shit. I remember I was in the W, that whole shit, and he was telling me, yo, they about to sign me to G-Unit. You dig? But as soon as they sign me and I get platinum and all that, I'm doing what 50 did to Jai and all this type of shit. I'm like, you sure you want to do that? He's like, fuck that, blood. I like, this nigga is crazy. This is crazy. And now I'm looking back, it's just a part of history to be like, I heard him say it before he even initiated the wild shit. I remember when he took the watch from Jacob, like, I just left out of Jacob's shit with the watch. They told me to hold it. I ain't going back with this one. I'm going to the West Coast jail. But that's what you do when you a brand new artist and you start popping and they giving you everything in the industry and all these stars. But yeah, man, Game is a great friend of mine, man. Our sons are like the same age. Started our solo career around the same time. Been affiliated with all type of gangbang shit. So just to see him progress and the both of us to still be here and still be relevant and still could play inside this game is a blessing.
Do you feel like you get the props you deserve for being like a talent scout as far as A&R? You introduced the Max B's, Stack Bundles to the world. You know, people like that. Do you feel like you get the credit that you deserve?
Shit, niggas looking for credit. I'm looking for money.
So it's not really important to you then?
Credit? What's credit? What's it going to do? It's going to give me a check?
Could be.
When?
A consultant check.
I'm doing that already. You dig? But I mean, I've learned not to look for credit a long time ago because a lot of times the things that I do is not for credit. It's because I really feel the person's artistry or I really feel him like a brother and I'm willing to take a chance on his music. Like, let's just go. A lot of artists that I met don't be really artists. They just happen to be talented and they don't even know it. You know what I mean? And then you got some people that's just dead nice, like Stacks and like the Kid Max, and they just had, you know what I mean? But then you got niggas like my brother Mel Matrix I learned how he know how to rap because I'm walking on the tour bus and I hear they got the beat and he's rhyming from 100 to 99 and I'm talking about compounding from 1 to 99. I'm like, what's up, blood? Who wrote that? He like, he just kicking it back here, blood. That's how I get. I'm like, bro, if you could do that like that, you could do that in the booth. And that's how Mel started rapping.
Right.
But is that the need of the thing? Because you said with the consulting, you say artist development's a lost art, you know, in this industry.
Yeah. Is
that part of it? Like that, like you can see that a lot of times people may not even know what they have, these gifts that they have.
100%. But a lot of what I mean by artist development is, I ain't trying to change nobody, and everybody has their own personality. But there's a way that you need to approach certain things as an artist. The way you need to articulate yourself. You don't want to get on these cameras and be looking like an idiot. You know what I mean? So where you gotta speak for yourself is the way you gotta sit. Like these kids get on these cameras and they have no idea what's going on in the world, period. You dig? They just stuck in their own zone of that high cloud, of that scissor and pills and all that type of shit. And even just period, like you need to be a complete artist. When you step in these places and shit like that, these people need to take something from you. You know what I mean? And when we did deals, you had to go to artist development. They're like, yo, when your album was coming up, yo, you need to come to the office and go through some artist development, and they sit down there with a bunch of papers and teach you how to do interviews when you go to radio. Don't be saying, no, I'm saying every 2 minutes, know what I'm saying? Like you know what I mean? Like it's certain things that we all could use to help better who we are and shit like that. You dig? So that's what I mean by artist development is nobody there teaching the artists how to
I feel like you developed a lot of artists, especially under the Bird Gang imprint. Like, what's the status of that right now?
It's always Bird Gang. That was a little bit more sketchy than anything.
Okay.
It's a lot of gang banging.
You don't say.
It's a lot of gang banging that, but nah, Bird Gang is forever, man. BG don't die. The wings on that gonna fly forever. But it was just switching things up a little bit. You did. That's why I started with the Vamp Life and made it a brand more than a gang. You know what I mean? Like, it's just different things that I chose to do to offset some of the things that I've done that follow me.
It seems like you take a liking to the kid Trav too. He was on the
Trav is my younger brother, man. Like, I love Trav, man. Not just for his music, just for the person who he is. Like, he's just a dope dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't meet too many people like him. He's a stand-up guy. But when it comes to the music, I feel like Trav is like one hook away from becoming one of the illest artists out there. And I'm just saying that because I watched that young man do music. He one of them artists that could sit there and do 5-6 songs in one studio session with no problem and enjoy doing it. You know what I mean? He's definitely on. He on tour. He's on tour right now with Nav. Shout out to Trash. Shout out to Nav. They got a record out called Calling, I believe it is.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's well on his way. He got some new management. They pretty dope. I believe him and Nav have the same management. Travis moving, you know. Moving in silence sometimes is better than saying a lot.
And who's this Mark Scabilia?
Mark's the white boy.
That's my favorite track.
I call him the white boy.
He's on Nothing Lasts Forever with Fab. That's my favorite
Nothing Lasts Forever. He's on Good Die. He's singing on Good Die Young. He's singing on the shit with Rick Ross. And he's singing on
State of the Union.
He's singing on Pity in the Summer.
Yeah.
All of those, anybody that's singing on there is all Mark. All them different vibes is all the white boy Mark.
He's the engine of
He's the engine. That white boy is cool as shit.
How'd you find him, Jim?
I actually didn't find him. Arsonist, he been working with him for a minute, so maybe a year and a half ago, he asked me to do a record that he had with him on it. And I'm like, no, this white boy is fish. He was in the studio one day. I'm like, nah, this cannot be you singing like this. I'm thinking everything that he was playing me was a sample.
Yeah.
Like, you dig? Like,
that's what
the
Nothing Lasts Forever sounded like, because I know it's like a Lionel Richie sample All Night Long.
But he really milked into that shit. Like, you're not mad at him doing that to Lionel beat. Like, you dig? And that's why I was like, because I heard the beat, I'm like, it just gotta do, I don't know what's gonna go on. But he did the hook, I'm like, boy, how you do some shit on Lionel shit and nigga can't be mad at that shit? Like, damn. And I sent it to Fab. Fab was like, oh, nah, this is a vibe. You heard? I sent like 3 records to Fab. You know, Fab is particular as shit, and I've been trying to get a record with him for a minute. You know, after I got a chance to, like, you know, every rapper got a sense of pride, and I'm like, I need a record with Fab. Fuck all that.
Because you hadn't had one, right?
Never, but he always been dope. You know what I mean? He did a record for us on our SZA soundtrack, but you know, for New York, Fab has always been one of the doper artists. Like, the nigga can spit crazy. His bars, like, you know what I mean? And girls love him. It's just been just something I've been wanting to get done for a minute. So I finally got him that record. He was like, nah, this is a vibe. I'm sending it right back to you. Got that vibe, though. I got some vibes on here
and
now.
Fat Joe, too. Another heavyweight.
Shouts to the Don Carter Gina. We shot the video in front of his store uptown, too, for the record New York. We did it in front of his store. Did it down on my block in Harlem, and we did a rooftop scene. I did like 5 videos in Harlem this past week.
Did a lot of videos, man.
It was important to get them all in Harlem, you said, right? You brought the Lambo out, everything.
Everything. We gave him hell. We got a couple more scenes to finish up. I'm going to bring Mark, put him in the middle of the projects, in the big grand piano in the middle of the projects. You heard? Let him sing that Good Die Young. Get the Nipsey Hussle shit all over the piano and shit like that. Fuck him up real good.
But to go back to production real quick, so people that don't know for the record, Arsonist
is one person.
Hitmakers.
Hitmakers is plural, but Arsonist is one person. One motherfucker.
One man. Your man be fresh. One guy made all this.
One man bandstand, man. I'm so proud of him, man. I'm so proud of him, man. His energy has changed. Like, I've been around R for so long, and these past 3 to 4 years, we've been locked in the same studio, his studio. He's been letting me rent out, and I've got a chance to really get close to him. And creating this project has taking his energy through the roof, and you know me, I love it. I love to see other people happy. That's what makes me happy.
Because in some sense, I feel like if you're a hardcore Dipset fan, Hitmakers get their credit, but if you're not, you might not get that credit. Can you talk a little about that whole transition? Because, you know, you also equate you with that Rockefeller sound in the beginning of a Just Blaze or a young Kanye helping you out. And then next thing you know, we're in the Hitmakers phase. What was that transition like, and why was it important to make that change?
Everybody needs their own. You know what I mean? Like you said, Just Blaze, I was more the Rockefeller, Jay-Z, producer. Like, you know what I mean? We needed our own. Hitmakers was our own. Like, he understood what we were going through. He understood what we needed. Like, it just everything was organic. We never not once searched for anything. You know what I mean? Like, he had a CD. Like, yo, I got some beats on the CD. Played that shit, called him back. Like, yo, we trying to use such, like, you know what I mean? Like, it never was like, it just happened like that, and we just got closer.
So how do you describe that sound, and what makes it unique?
The sound is some church soulful sound while you walking by the drug dealers in your neighborhood. It's like damn near theme music, but you can feel the pain in it. It's very gospel-y, very soulful. I can't explain it more than being soulful because he don't stretch too far from that. That's why the music that I do with him, you could hear, I always reflect on the past, and you could hear a lot of the pain, and you know what I mean? So that's what this whole project was about. Like, he made me go back in time so much with every beat he bring up. Is like, that's why I started trying to add a little bit of the young generation, like Dave E. So just to give it that little twist and little difference of audience and shit like that. You know, I don't want to bring.
I feel like that's when you're at your best, in my opinion. Like the Jim Jones sound, particularly, is like when you have those soulful soundscapes, like when you have Pete Rock, or I think about the Kitchen.
Man, Pete. So
you and Pete Rock need to lock in.
I'm about to say, Pete Rock is one of my favorite producers of all time. Not to mention him and CL Smooth is like one of my favorite rap groups of all time. Like, man, please, man, I don't want to talk about Pete Rock or CL Smooth, but that's a whole nother.
CL Smooth don't get his props.
He don't.
CL Smooth don't get his fucking props. That was a smooth nigga, bro.
Yes.
Yeah. You heard first dude with the beard. Let's give him his beard props. Like, niggas wasn't rocking the beard back in the day. Very mild mannered. His bars was off the hook. Like, you know what I mean?
Tony Randall left his shit.
He was swag. He was like that swag right before like Jay-Z kind of.
Yeah, like he was really a cool, like, the nigga, like you did, like it wasn't too much rah-rah on, and he had a little grown man approach, but the nigga was super cool. Like, nah, CL Smooth had it and shit. But Pete Rock, one of the doper.
Yeah.
That track y'all did, We Roll, was you and Max a while ago. That was
crazy.
That was hard.
So this is a project. Hitmakers, Jim Jones presents El Capo. It's a joint effort. This is a project. We're a group, me and Hitmakers. My album is called The Audio Biography of Jim Jones. Which I'm dropping in the 4th quarter.
Rock Nation.
No pushbacks.
Nah, nigga, it's coming out before the new year. The Audio Biography of Jim Jones. I just need to get that out there. You heard? Hitmakers on May 31st to bust your head open for the summertime. But we're going to get real critical with this Audio Biography of Jim Jones. It's a movie that I'm shooting, and I'm scoring the soundtrack as an album. I ain't going to say no more. Got any words you want to talk about?
Is that some of the stuff I heard when you first joined Rock Nation? Because you played me some stuff to see.
I played a lot of it's. I don't know if most likely it'd be all new music. There's so much personal shit that I have to talk about, but it's gonna be way more premeditated than ever. Like some of the things that people been wanting to know, the real stories about or the real truths about. I'm gonna really get into a lot of things that people might say that was a little bit much. You know what I mean? But this is my life that I've been in this game and shit like that I've been living. Like, and we've been treating this industry like we were in the streets. You know what I mean?
But the song's gonna be having that same soul samples.
It's gonna have a bit of everything.
Okay.
So this is.
So I'm saying, do you want Pete Rock? Is that was the segue? That you love to
100%.
get Pete on that album?
100%.
We need Pete on that
So what I'm doing
autobiography
is
of Jim
I'm
Jones.
getting every producer in my life that I always wanted to do a record with, besides Hitmakers. Hitmakers is
home team.
That's right.
You dig? But every producer in my career I've been dying to do music with, I'm going for on this album.
There's a record on the kitchen, Addicted to the Game. That
was that's my favorite on the
You like that joint too?
My favorite one. That's my favorite one.
That shit make you want to smoke something.
Yo, that shit right there.
That's what I mean, Jim. That's what I need.
Melly said he still feel the pain
every time it rains.
The gun wounds when the time it rains. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but that's what autobiography of Jim Jones is more or less about. It's going to give you some direct energy on certain things. You know what I mean?
So is that the, because with the management of Rock Nation, is that like going to be the monster Rock Nation super duper support behind, or everything still feels the same?
Shout out to Rock Nation. That's Rock Nation, man. You dig? So,
what's that transition been like to be part of the Rock Nation family?
It's a great transition. It's a bunch of great people over there. Very helpful. You know, OG is like one of such a good friend of mine, and it's always good to have someone older than you. You could use that. You know what I mean? I didn't have too much of that growing up and shit like that, so I take that relationship that me and Juan got to the most high. But shouts to Jay, shouts to Tata, shouts to Emery, shouts to all the staff over there, shouts to Yayo, shouts to Christy who actually handles my stuff, shouts to Jazz, shouts to TIDAL. Everybody over there has been helpful, man. I can't lie. And anything that I need done, they definitely go after it. So with the autobiography of Jim Jones, I'm trying to figure out exactly what I'm going to, because you know, as I'm still an independent artist. Shouts to Empire, shouts to Gazi,
folks at Empire,
who's been, that's the God right there, man. I appreciate you, Gazi, man. He's helped pick me up at a time when, you know, a lot of the people in the music industry went left for me, and he kind of helped me fill that void that I needed, and I can't. There's no way that I could repay him. You know what I mean? Like
but you made it cool to be indie though. When during the boom time of Koch.
Nothing wrong with being indie. I'm just saying at the time that I needed a little pickup, he was there.
Okay.
Because the industry got a little bit scared or however that went and shit like that. So with this next album, I want to make it the best album I probably could make and shit like that. I don't have too much time to do that, so I got to be smart and every move got to be premeditated, but I'm ready for it. But right now, this Hitmakers, I need y'all to really get a load of that. I need you to press play and just ride. If you ain't got no smoke, do something. It's better to listen to it in the car than anything else, because once you listen to it in the car, you'll fully understand what you got. Then you can pick your favorites from there and shit like that. But it's definitely about 4 songs for everybody to listen to on there if you don't love the whole thing. I promise you. If you say that you don't like nothing on that shit, you's a hater.
There was one song I saw with you and Cameron, Mama, I Made It, and I thought about it. I was like, what moment in your career do you feel like you've made it?
I don't think I've made it yet.
Ah, come on, Jim. All the success.
Nah, I mean, I appreciate all the success and stuff like that. And yeah, there's been a lot of times in my career where it felt like, Mama, I made it. But I honestly don't feel that I've even started to do what I was sent here for. I don't think that music is what God put me here for. I mean, it's one of the reasons I'm here. It's a stepping stone towards the way I got to go. But I don't feel that I have done anything that I was supposed to do yet.
I want to know what's going on in all these businesses, man.
So
that news, I'm concerned. You trying to take me out of some meetings?
No, we get to that in a second. We can use y'all on that news, but Saucy Extract. Shouts to Saucy team, to the whole Saucy team. Shout out to my partner Alex.
Todd. Be that your jeweler? That's
Easy.
What I heard.
Yeah, he's the jeweler. But
that's your jeweler. That's how you doing to be that.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, Alex Todd is a great jeweler. He's known as one of the best jewelers.
Yes, that's a fact.
All them big watches you see Hove with it, all that type of shit. 9 times out of 10, he probably got something to do with that.
Me and Jay-Z have the same jeweler.
Fire. Yeah, that's a good speaking point. You know me and Hove got the same jeweler, right? But when I got to Rock Nation, these were one of the first things that I was able to put me involved with. Me and Alex been turning into becoming great friends. That's my guy, man. You know what I mean? But this weed business is a very dope thing, man. There's so many benefits to it, and not just making money.
You said I'm still selling drugs.
Yeah, I'm still selling drugs. But not just making money and not just getting people high. There's a lot of medical benefits to this marijuana, as we known for years, and now it's actually coming to fruition where we can use it for those benefits and not get in trouble for it. As you see so much CBD things going on, as you see all the oil extracts, you see it's just a lot with the edibles and stuff like that. And there's a lot of people that's sick that marijuana does help in the greatest ways. A lot of the times better than the actual medicine that the doctors are prescribing us inside of the drugstores. That's, you know what I mean? So it's like they give you a Percocet, you might smoke a blunt. Which one would be better for you?
Right.
You know what I mean? Get strung out on Percocets or get a little bit high, smoke weed, and go about your day. Like it's a lot of pros and cons to what marijuana. Of course, we know they've proven that it's helped cancer patients for so many years. Yeah. You know what I mean? But and I've been following the trend of just looking up different things. My doctor and his partners been helping me a lot on understanding how great weed is for the medical benefits and things like that. But my man Alex,
saucy extract.
We in the gold rush, baby. I don't need to talk about the money. You know what we about to do. You heard? Prohibition, baby, all over again, baby. This thing about to go big. They don't have no idea. If you have a chance to get involved with the marijuana business on the legal side, I suggest you do that very fast before they start to over-regulate and they cut everybody out. And whoever's in is in, whoever's not is not. So while the gates is open, I'm encouraging everyone to try to get a part of this marijuana money because it's for real. For real, for real. I wasn't there when Al Capone and them was getting all that liquor money, but I'm here now. We're going to get all this marijuana money, man. So shouts to Saucy Extract. Shouts to Saucy Farms. Shouts to Capo Smoke. That's my line of smoke. That's under it. There's a whole bunch of different things that I got for y'all. Starting with the actual Capo blunts with the keef wrapped around it. We got dope-ass triple OG inside of it. I'm not allowed to sell blunts with tobacco on it. I shouldn't even be showing them this. I'm not allowed to sell blunts with tobacco on it legally. So it's rolled in the tea leaf. Still give you that blunt feel. Okay. You dig? So I just been out here grinding for the past couple of years trying to find my lane and as far as what I still can do to be a part of this industry and not have to concentrate so much on doing the music because the music could be strenuous at times, but there's a lot of money around this music and I put in enough work for people to understand that, you know what I mean? What I do is a real thing. So with the consulting agency, I look forward to helping so many artists. And what I tell an artist is I can't consult you to do anything different than what I know how to do. You know, I know how to put out albums, I know how to put out music, I know how to market and promote them. And anything that I would do for myself is the same thing I'm gonna do for you because I'm an independent artist. You know what I'm saying? So the blueprint I got for myself is what I use for everybody else. And I'm providing you with the people that your favorite artist might be using. Right. You know what I mean? Like the track you dig? This is the same dude that Meek is using. You dig? Like this is what we doing here. You know what I mean? So I'm not here to be gaffling nobody out no money. I don't really need the money like that. It was always great to make money and shit like that, but I know that I can help a lot of these artists become a real artist inside this game and get a fair shot at being able to sell some music in this industry.
Speaking of music, I want to touch on 2 music questions before we get out of here. Mentioned Wasted Talent. I think it was one of the best projects last year. How do you feel about the response of that?
I feel I got a great response. People didn't really dig into it, and I know I could take a couple of records off that shit and put on the radio, and people like, oh, he got a new Jim record, not knowing, no, this is an old Jim record, but I ain't really get to sauce it the way I wanted to and shit like that. But Wasted Talent was by far one of the greatest experiences I had recording. It was a very fun recording process because the light came on. At first I'm like, you ain't just do that, did you? All right, I came back the next day, it was like, oh, you did that shit again? And I came back, I'm like, nah, nigga, either you in a zone or you figured the matrix out when it comes to you doing music. Right. And I figured it out.
And the light stayed on, though.
Years, the light stayed
because
on.
With Poison on Swiss Beats' album, Preach, that was one of the highlight joints
I got this record on the show Swiss is doing the music for Harlem, the TV show about Bugsy Siegel that he got going on. I got this record on there, bro. I blew the studio. I got this record on there that I might have to call someone to let me get it for the audio of Jim Jones. Yeah, because, bro.
Wow.
Bro. And I got to get like 3 records done with Swiss. There's no... Swiss is one of the few producers that I go in and just go dumb off top as soon as he put the shit on. Like, let's go. Like that. Like, let's go.
They say what such a great motivator he is, but like somebody you've been through so many sessions, like he even still like that fire with you. Like, what is it about his energy that
every time. Like, I can't front. Anytime Swiss called me for a studio session, Gotta get drippy off top. Because you know Swiss gonna be fresh when you walk in the building. You gotta get fresh, you gotta get in the mood. Then he get in there, he start talking his talk, he start popping that wine on you. Now you is just after that is go time. It's word, man. The last record I did was actually with Ferg. Okay. Shouts to Ferg.
They did that song Harlem together.
Got a couple records with Ferg, and we got another record we did also. I forgot the name. I'll be forgetting this, man. But I mean, May 31st.
Yeah. El
Capo, which is an ode to Harlem.
Let's get it.
Harlem is the natural museum of history of fly shit. I appreciate y'all for always showing me love. I'm just living life, man. I appreciate the game, man. This is a game like no other, man. For all you youngsters that want to get in this game, be smart about it, man. This is a dope ass game, and if you want to do music, be real with yourself. Maybe music might not be the thing you want to do, but if you do want to do it, know that it's the most discouraging thing in the universe to want to be an artist that makes it. Because 9 times out of 10 it doesn't happen. But I can't tell you this. In this industry, there's so many jobs and positions to be filled that you could make a shitload of money at. It's not even funny. These are one of the few places you can go to have a career without having to go to college and get a degree of any sort. And I encourage everybody to go to college. But if you want to be in this industry, it's dope, man. Just be creative, be persistent. Know what you want out of it, and know that everybody's not going to be a rapper. You heard? But everybody can make some money.
Thank you, Jim.
On that note.
Capo.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Every time.
Rap Radar Podcast.
Yeah.
We out.